Bonjour class, today we have a quick but super important lesson about regular IR verbs. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to answer the following questions. What is a regular IR verb? How do you conjugate a regular IR verb? And what are some common regular IR verbs? So let's start off with what is a regular IR verb. The answer is pretty straightforward, but you need to know it to understand what I'm talking about. A regular IR verb ends in the letters IR, just like how regular ER verbs end in the letters ER. Now, this doesn't mean that every verb ever that ends in IR in French is a regular IR verb, because sometimes we have irregular ones, and sometimes there are some that try to pose as IR verbs. We're just sneaking. So a reminder, as always, if you are using a regular IR verb in a sentence, you must conjugate it like all other verbs. You cannot just put the whole infinitive in a sentence. Just like we wouldn't say I to study, we say I study. You need to conjugate it so that it matches that part of the sentence. So with that in mind, how do we conjugate a regular IR verb? Step 1, drop the IR from the end of the infinitive. And step 2, add the correct ending based on the subject of the sentence. So it looks like this. The endings that you have are in red, and then the blue is an example. So if you're conjugating a regular IR verb for je, you add is. For tu, you also add is. For il and el, you add it. For nous, add issons. For vous, add isses. And for il el plural, add issent. And this applies to verbs that end in ir. So you can see for this example, we got rid of the ir at the end. So then all of them in blue start with fin, F-I-N. Those three letters start all of them off. And then in red, we add the ending based on who we're talking about. So is, isit, issons, issez, or issent. So what are some common regular IR verbs where we'll have to do this? I've got a list here. You are responsible for a lot of these, but a lot of these will be familiar, hopefully from cognates in either English or Spanish. So we have choisir, to choose, grandir, to grow, grossir, to gain weight, maigrir, to lose weight, obéir à, to obey, réagir, to react, réfléchir à, to think about or reflect on, réussir à, to succeed, rougir, to blush, and vieillir, to grow old. So if we want to put these in a sentence, notice that we don't say nous grossir. That would mean we to gain weight. We have to conjugate it. So we have the right ending, issons. Nous grossissons quand nous mangeons beaucoup d'éclairs. We gain weight when we eat a lot of eclairs. And je choisis. Notice we don't have je choisir, je choisis un croissant avec du chocolat chaud. I choose a croissant with hot chocolate. So these are some common regular IR verbs that you'll need to conjugate with the endings that we just discussed. And that's it. I told you it would be a quick lesson, but it's one that's super crucial that we memorize what we need to. So we need to memorize the endings for the verb, and we need to memorize the vocabulary.